Hello, everybody. My name is Lucas. In November 2020, my brother Matteo contracted COVID-19 like so many of us did. But unlike most of us, he hasn't yet recovered. Matteo is now what is known as a COVID long hauler, a title given to those whose COVID symptoms last more than 3 months. So, yeah. In all this time, he's been documenting his ups, downs, victories, and setbacks through journals, medical records, and love letters to you, the listener. And if he's come to one conclusion, it is that COVID is stupid. All through these episodes, we explore what it's like on any given day to be living with long-haul COVID, to still be living with long-haul COVID. The challenges baked into things we used to take for granted, climbing the stairs, going to the store, having a meal with your family. For the long haulers, ingrained into these activities can be a sense of frustration, how the patches of life that we've earned in one way or another aren't so easy to reach anymore. Today, we move outside of the day-to-day to a place where many long haulers have gone in search of answers, in search of clarity, in search of hope. A place where we've seen tears of all kinds. A place that even the name will no doubt stir some memories and feelings. So here is my big brother Matteo and Corndogs with Mayo.
Well, hello to all my amazing long-hauling friends. Today, we're going to talk about something somewhat controversial. And no, it has nothing to do with corn dogs. This is a topic that has left long haulers feeling dejected, confused, angry, ignored, and disappointed. This is a place where untold legions travel every year. They set up camp, they check their schedules, and they access its riches by navigating a series of well-lit, temperature-controlled tunnels. This is a place whose very mention can cost long haulers spoons of the heart. Spoons made of memory. Spoons left on the table. Today, we're going to talk about Mayo Clinic. Some of you may not be aware that a lot of people in the long-haul community have had very, very, very mixed experiences with Mayo Clinic. And understand that when I say mixed experiences, I actually mean anywhere from to to fuck you, Mayo. And I understand all of these reactions. Really and truly, I do. I can't imagine the number of hope-filled waves that have crashed upon the jagged rocks of Mayo Beach in Rochester, Minnesota. This is a recounting of my experience and my takeaways. You, of course, will have your own opinions. As well you should. And whatever they may be, those opinions are valid because your opinions were shaped by your experience. You know, while we're on the topic of opinions, if you have any you'd like to share, positive, negative, Mayo-related, or otherwise, send them our way. COVIDisstupid2020@gmail, blah, blah, blah. I would be honored to read these and discover what's on your mind. Our stories come from our realities, and they are all worth telling because we are still here. But for now, back to this story. Dial the clocks back to spring break 2023. Wifey, kiddo, and I packed our bags, grabbed the huge folder with all my medical records, stocked up on potato skins and pickled wieners, and drove north until we hit Minnesota. I went there with what I felt to be an open mind and complete understanding that Mayo did not have a cure. Actually, any time a doctor apologizes to me for not having an answer, I tell them I know you don't have an answer. If you knew what caused this, I would have seen you on the news already. This was actually my second brush with Mayo. In 2021, we had a video consult with the Mayo doctor, and then we took the treatment plan to my primary doctor, and we did what we could. This time I'd be spending a whole week there and getting a chance to be seen by all the ologists. There were multiple intake conversations to talk about me, my health, my insurance, and my schedule for the week. The trip would be bookended with appointments seeing my main Mayo doctor, who I saw Monday and Friday. It was an exhausting week. And during my Friday visit, the doctor actually commented on how much I'd deteriorated in only 5 days. Lots is the answer. During the week, I got to do a sleep study, got told by physical therapy that no, I can't test drive the exoskeleton legs. I got to visit the gift shop and roll away with a new journal and a Mayo Clinic hoodie. I also had the pleasure of my very first fibromyalgia test. First, the nurse squeezed my thumb to demonstrate the amount of pressure she was going to apply to various points on my body. She then proceeded to stab a fucking ice pick into both knees, both elbows, all over my back, my neck, and apologized every time that I screamed. Because holy shitballs, that was eye-opening. Both figuratively and literally. After some top-tier schedule juggling by wifey, if the awards and accolades wallpapering the exam room were any indication, I also had the honor of visiting one of the top neurologists in the country. You know that nurse that comes in first to do the pre-interview, and then they go and they take all the information out to the doctor? Yeah, instead of a nurse doing that, a neurologist came in and did that. Ooh la la. In between that conversation and actually seeing Dr. Fancy, I found my eyes drifting towards the conspicuously well-lit table in the corner that had the textbook on a bookstand about How to Treat Parkinson's, Volume 7. And it was sitting on top of and in front of Volumes 1 through 6. The author? You guessed it. The very same Dr. Fancy by whom I was about to be seen, and to whom all these awards and accolades had been bestowed. I did my best not to be starstruck when he came into the room, and instead treated him the same way I had treated everyone else. See, I had asked all the doctors the same couple questions, and was pleased to get some honest, unscripted answers out of many of them. First, based on everything you've read and learned about long COVID, what does your gut tell you the root cause might be? And if you were in my position, what else would you be doing? Central sensitization was often repeated as a possible cause, but that answer seems to toe the company line. Central sensitization is the fancy term for a messed up, hyperactive nervous system with all the knobs cranked up to 11 that thinks it is actively being hunted for sport. Some doctors went a little more rogue and said they suspected a hereto elusive disconnect in the signals between the brain and the body. And unfortunately, they've seen it with other post-viral conditions for decades and still don't have a definitive cause or cure. Fuck. For the most part, I was already doing most of the things they would be doing and keeping a more positive attitude than many thought that they would have by this point. Many, if not most, of the doctors commented on my attitude and how important it is to keep that healthy. Still smiling, still joking, staying motivated, staying hopeful, all that. But to their credit, none of them even suggested that I could somehow smile and hope my way out of this. A number of them pointed to a super intensive physical therapy boot camp called the BEST program. BEST, Behavioral Shaping Therapy. A notable exception to givers of this advice was the doctor of physical therapy, who said I was nowhere near strong enough for it. It's physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, cognitive therapy, and talk therapy all rolled into one absolutely horrible sounding week. She suggested, and I concurred, that in my current state, the BEST program would grind my fucking bones to fucking dust. So I didn't enroll. But I have an open invitation. Perhaps I'll get there eventually. Just not today. This next part is going to sound like a joke, but I double pinky promise it's not. At the end of the Friday visit with the main doctor, after she commented on how much I deteriorated over the week's festivities, lots is the answer. The last thing she said to me on her way out the door was, "May the force be with you." Wow. I hadn't realized how much I needed to hear that from someone on my care team. Seriously, it filled my icy, icy heart with blood. We all have our own realities, own opinions, experiences, and our own needs. That this doctor met a need that was specific to me? Hot damn, that meant so much. So much. Such a small yet meaningful kindness to give to a fella in a Star Wars shirt and a Mayo Clinic hoodie. For others, may the force be with you may not have struck a chord, and that's okay. She seemed pretty good at reading the room, so presumably would have said something different to you. One of my biggest takeaways from this field trip to Mayo Clinic was restoring and refueling a deep and immense feeling of gratitude for how incredibly fortunate I am. I've been saying for years that it could be worse. Could be worse. And while I was there, rolling from appointment to appointment, everywhere I looked, I saw worse. And I'd like to share something that occurred to me while I was peeing after an appointment on that last day. It can be a major pain in the ass to use a public restroom with a wheelchair. get the door open, get my chair in, get to where I'm going without running anyone over, get my canes out, lock the wheels on my chair, take my gloves off, carefully use both canes to stand, lean myself up against the wall or partition or whatever, put my canes against the wall, get everything pointed where it needs to point, and try not to pee on my own pants. Then do it all in reverse. Include an awkward roll over to the sinks to wash my hands and try to remember to Clorox wipe my canes and the wheelchair's push rims because I had to touch both of those to get to the sink to wash my damn hands. Like I said, it can be a huge pain in the ass. But I can do it by myself. And so many of the people I saw would give anything to be able to have the option of that particular pain in the ass. Hence the gratitude for how fortunate I am. To all my long-hauling, never-quitting, ass-kicking warrior champion friends, please, 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 don't stop fighting. I know you're tired. I know it sucks. I know every day can be a goddamn battle. Much like I know peeing can be a pain in the ass. We can't control the medical world. We can't control the media. We can't control other people's opinions. Hell, I can barely control my own muscles. All we can control is our attitude and our dedication. Those are ours, and they can never be taken away from us. Attitudes can get beat up, beat down, and fucking flattened by the cosmos. But they can't be taken away. They're ours. So keep doing anything and every goddamn thing you can do to make yourself faster, stronger, smarter, better. Make it to tomorrow. That's all. Make it to tomorrow. And then do it again. Make it to tomorrow. And tomorrow and tomorrow. We also can't control the future. We can't control tomorrow. But if we bust our asses every today, eventually the future will unfold around us, and we will know in our hearts that wherever we are, however we feel, God damn it, we earned the right to be there. I look forward to seeing you there. Now, to all the caretakers, you beautiful, amazing, mainly able-bodied pillars of strength and resolve. Caretakers, caregivers, hand-holders, wheelchair pushers, hug givers, loving spouses, dedicated partners, true friends, new friends, surprise friends, extraordinary offspring, siblings, neighbors, co-workers, and whomevers. To all y'alls, thank you. Thank you so much. This would be so much harder without you in our corner. We love you. My God, we love you so much. We may not say it every day, and you might not see it every day, but every day we do. We love you, and we can't thank you enough. I love you all. I see you all. And I would hug the holy hell out of all of you if I could. Strength and health. COVID is stupid.
What a cast of characters, huh? The doctors, the nurses, the boot camp facilitators, and the caregivers. I'd like to piggyback on the gratitude train, if I may, and just say thank you to all of you. I know there's not a person listening to this, nor is there anyone mentioned in this episode who has had an easy go of things. So to all of you out there making it easier on someone else or yourself just to get to tomorrow, we thank you. If you want to shout out someone who's been crucial in your recovery, let us help you. Tell us about them at covidisstupid2020@gmail.com. And that's stupid with 2 O's, not a U. Or leave a comment wherever you may be listening to this. Tell a friend, even leave a review. All that algorithm stuff that helps us reach more people. More people like you. And you. And anyone out there who agrees that COVID is stupid.